Catching crucian carp in summer. Master the 8-character formula. Fish the edges in the morning and evening. Stay patient for night fishing to easily get a bountiful harvest. When it comes to catching crucian carp in summer, veteran anglers all know that once the weather gets hot, it starts to be a worry. When the sun is shining, the fish don't bite, and the bait you put in the water is just like not putting it at all. After spending the whole afternoon there and getting nothing, you have to be scolded by your wife when you get home. Brothers, do you often have such helpless moments of boasting before going out but returning empty-handed? Actually, catching crucian carp in summer is all about knowing how to take it easy and understanding the right time. Don't stick to fishing at noon, and don't scatter bait everywhere. If you want a bountiful harvest, you need to use your brain. First, fishing the edges in the morning and evening is absolutely recognized as the best way by old anglers who are keen on fishing. When summer comes, before the sun rises and the sky is just getting bright, crucian carp swim to the edges of the water. In the early morning, the water temperature is moderate, there's plenty of oxygen, and there are a lot of small insects and plankton near the shore. Crucian carp swim around here to have their breakfast. But once it gets hot, they immediately dive into deep water. Who would stay near the shore then? Last July, I got up early with Lao Su and was waiting by the grassy area of the old river bend at 5:30. After just casting the rod twice, the float gave a gurgle shake, and we caught 3-tail crucian carp one after another. After 6:30, when the sun came out, the fish stopped biting, and even switching to fishing in deep water didn't work. At that time, Lao Su wanted to change to a bigger float and stubbornly stayed until noon, but he didn't catch any more fish. So, fellow anglers, remember that if you want to catch crucian carp in summer, you have to get up early and stay out late. Don't be afraid of getting up early. From 5 to 7 in the morning and 6 to 8 in the afternoon, focus on shallow and shaded places such as the grass by the shore, stone crevices, and fallen tree roots. As long as there are crucian carp in the water, you will never return empty-handed. Then there's staying patient for night fishing, which is a truth I realized after suffering losses. At night, crucian carp bite gently, and the movement of the float is small. If you react too quickly, you'll miss the big fish. On August 10 the year before last, when I was night fishing under the old bridge, I initially reacted as I did during the day, lifting the rod as soon as the float shook, but all I got were small minnows. Lao Ding, who was sitting next to me, stayed motionless. When the float sank and stopped for 2 seconds, he slowly lifted the rod, and as a result, he caught a half-gin crucian carp. Staying patient means waiting for the float with patience, not being impulsive, not being in a hurry. crucian carp bite slowly at night, swallowing the hook gradually. Wait until it really takes the hook away before lifting the rod, and you'll definitely catch it. Having said that, let's share some practical tips. In terms of fishing tackle configuration, use a 1.0 main line and a 0.6 sub line. Use a vertical float and adjust it to be sensitive. Don't use too big a hook, size 2 to 4 sleeve hooks are enough. Crucian carp have small mouths, and using a big hook will lead to more fish getting unhooked. For big crucian carp, using size 2 ISO hooks is also okay. Don't be greedy for big hooks, otherwise, the biting rate will be poor. You must put the bait in advance. Old formulas like wine-soaked rice and musk rice always work. Last year, I took my brother-in-law night fishing. He thought it was troublesome and directly used commercial bait as the bait, but fish came to my wine-soaked rice bait after 30 minutes, while there was no movement of the float in his place for an hour. Later, he obediently borrowed wine-soaked rice from me and got a bountiful harvest in half an hour. You must put the bait accurately, scatter the wine-soaked rice in small handfuls, and be diligent, so that fish will gather. Don't stop replenishing the bait. If there's too little bait, the fish won't stay. If there's too much, they'll be full and run away. You need to grasp the amount properly. In terms of bait, crucian carp in summer like sweet flavors rather than fishy ones. If the fishy smell is too strong, all small miscellaneous fish will rush to it. I usually use millet with white sugar, or grain with its original flavor, and occasionally add a little essence, but never add too much. Last year, a fellow angler wanted to save trouble and directly used a strong fishy and fragrant bait. As a result, there were carp, catfish, and small fish in the bait area, but crucian carp were nowhere to be seen. The skill of adjusting the float is also crucial. In places with a lot of aquatic plants, adjust the float to 4 meshes and fish at 2 meshes, with the double hook slightly touching the bottom. If there's silt at the bottom, adjust to 3 meshes and fish at 2 meshes, so that the hook won't be buried too deep. The float should be adjusted to be sensitive. At night, the light is poor, so you need to be careful when watching the float. The rising and sinking of the float are the most important. Watch it slowly and never lift the rod randomly. When it comes to fishing methods, being flexible is the key. When the sun is scorching, don't stick to the old bait area. Hurry to find a shady place or near aquatic plants. If there's really no bite, you can try fishing in the middle layer of the water. On cloudy and rainy days, fish will float up. At this time, adjust the float to be sensitive, and there will be significantly more fish bites. When small miscellaneous fish disturb the bait area, make the bait a little harder and bigger to reduce the interference from small miscellaneous fish. Finally, let me say one more thing. Catching crucian carp in summer is all about paying attention to the right time and being patient. Fishing the edges in the morning and evening, staying patient for night fishing, replenishing the bait frequently, using light flavored bait, using moderate fishing tackle, and being flexible in changing methods. Getting a bountiful harvest is actually just like that, it's not that mysterious. When it comes to fishing, theories are just for reference, and actual practice is the fundamental. When you have the chance, go to the water's edge more, think more when you encounter problems, communicate more with fellow anglers, don't stick to fixed routines, and being able to apply what you've learned flexibly is real ability. May everyone get a bountiful harvest easily this summer, hold big crucian carp in their arms, and your wife will praise you for having excellent fishing skills and a wonderful life when you get home. Author profile: I am a self-media blogger who loves fishing and is good at sharing. Follow me, and we will exchange fishing skills and discuss every bit of angler's wild fishing. Give a like, collect, and follow to keep up with the next update.